Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing as well as I am and you're staying in from the cold. I want to say my prayers and my thoughts are out to everyone in Texas that does not have power and heat because you guys are not used to the cold as I am and some of us up north get every single year. So tonight, if you notice, Elaine is not going to be with me. She is not able to make it tonight due to family obligations. And she is doing well. She just can't make it. And so I decided I was going to come on and do it myself today. And I had to think about what I wanted to do without Elaine because we're a really good team when it comes to picking the subjects and doing the research together to get it. But something is dear to my heart because I'm Mommy Missy and I have 5 boys, 4 are which are in school. And I wanted to talk to some young adults about how they are handling going to school virtually in the pandemic. I was not able to get anybody that attended in person. I wish I could have. I tried, but there isn't as many out there. And I think that they're a little bit afraid to talk about sending their children to school. I personally am not, but I don't go after anybody for not keeping their child home when they would have to send them to daycare anyways because they have to go to work. So why not get them in school if the schools can keep them safe? So now I'm going to bring all of our young adults and I'm going to bring them up one by one and I'm going to have them say their name and their age. Now, they're all 18 and under, so please be respectful of anything that they have to say. It is important to me that you are. So, and I know that our listeners are very respectful, and even if they disagree, they can respectfully disagree. So, first, I'm going to bring up a young man. Hi.
Hello, my name is Manrique Valladares. I'm 12-year-old and I'm in 6th grade.
Okay. And let's bring up our second young man. Hello.
Hello, my name is Ted and I'm 15.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Jesusita. I'm 18.
Hi.
Hello, my name is Blake and I'm 12.
And this one is special to me because he is my son. So my kids don't get special treatment when I need to get kids on the show. I make them come on.
Hello, I'm Joe. I'm 11.
11. Hi, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming on. I really do appreciate that getting your input on, what's going on. Oh, see, there you go. My camera went out. I want to know one of the things, and I think parents need to know, and we need to hear it from you guys, because if we don't hear it from you guys, we're not the ones that are learning from school. We're teaching you, but we're not learning from school like you guys are. How did you guys feel when you learned that the schools were closing? And how did you learn? I'll ask Jesusita.
Jesusita.
Jesusita. Okay, I will get it right by the end.
I remember the day like so vividly. I think it was like March 14th. It was like 10 days after I took my ACT as a junior, and I thought we were just ending school for 2 weeks, and then we just ended up staying home. It ended up being months and months until we even got any word that we were doing virtual school. So
okay,
it was kind of just like a switch flipped, and then everyone had to stay inside.
And before that, had you been like following the pandemic and how it was progressing?
I was following a little bit of the virus. When I found out it was in Chicago, my friend texted me because she was a little freaked out. She was worried, so I just told her to calm down. that it would be over soon, but obviously I was wrong.
So you thought it would just like a flu and everyone would get it and it would be done.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay. Manrique, how did you feel when you found out the schools would be closing?
I don't remember it much. It felt, oh, this whole entire last year went super fast. So I don't remember much. But I just remember we left school and we never went back. And I didn't take the pandemic as much. We still did regulation and what they recommended. But I really didn't think much of it until my father got it. And then it changed a lot.
And what happened once your dad got it? What happened in your house?
So, my dad got it at work and he was quarantining in my room for 14 days. And it just felt like horrible seeing them that they're miserable and like we were both sad. We couldn't do like things that we used to do, like watch soccer games or play outside and do things like that. I just felt horrible seeing them just sitting in the bed, not being able to be with us, and really like shocked me knowing that this is going on everywhere. And I finally found out how it can impact someone close to you.
Wow. I'm really sorry. How is your dad doing now? Is he better?
He's a lot better. And it's been like months since he had it. And he's fine. We're doing basically the same as we done year before, but we are still following regulations.
Okay. Ted, how did you feel when you found out about the pandemic and that schools were closing?
I think I was just kind of like, it was very unknown. Like my friends and I would always like pull up the news and advisory and stuff, and we'd like just talk about it and be like, it's kind of just in China and it's like starting to go into other countries, but we never really thought it would like become like a worldwide pandemic. And so when it like started to appear in Wisconsin, there was like talk of the schools shutting down. It was kind of like maybe in like 2 weeks we'll like close down for a week, but then it was kind of just we got out of school and then it was like a month and then 2 months and then a year, and so it was kind of I kind of liked the change in the beginning, like school wise it was a nice change, I guess, to not just be going to classes every day. So it was a different routine that I could get used to. But after a while, it was kind of
I think
I don't like it as much,
Yeah. Yeah. Jojo, how did you feel when you found out the schools were closing and the pandemic was here?
I only thought it was gonna be a month or a little bit more than a month, but I didn't think the virus would be this bad. I thought it would have been under control in like half a year or so, but I didn't think it would get this out of control.
Okay. How about you, Blake? Last but not least, Lakers.
So I remember when I first heard about the virus, it was actually in December. I was just looking through my Switch on like YouTube, and I just saw a video with coronavirus in the title. And I was like, what's that? And then a few months later, in March, there was just, I remember during my spring break, my mom told me that it might last, that I might not go to school for another few months. And then it ended up being after my spring break, we just didn't go back to school and we just had to do everything virtual. And that was kind of strange to me at first, but after I got used to it, I think I started to like it better than actually going into school. But I still want to see my friends. And so that kind of impacted me.
Okay. Now, so everyone here is distance learning. How do you feel about distance learning? Do you want to continue distance learning by raise of hands, or do you want to go back to school as soon as your parents will let you? Raise your hand if you want to go back to school. So all of you guys want to go back to school, okay? Oh, wow, that's really interesting.
I miss my friends that were there.
Yeah. I miss my friends too. What is everybody using for distance learning? And I'm gonna have you raise your hand by the item that I call. So who is using a phone for distance learning? Like a smartphone? No? Who's using a tablet? No. Okay. Who's using a laptop? And who's using a desktop? Okay. All right. And is the computer supplied by your school, or did you already have it?
I know from my school, they gave all of the students a Chromebook and a charger with a little like carrying case. And
Okay.
then everyone got one. And then they actually gave us like, if you didn't have Wi-Fi, you could get a hotspot from the district.
Blake, your mom's saying hi, Pico. If anyone doesn't know, Kate is one of my best friends. And Pico is JoJo's best friend. And they met at school. Now, do you guys feel right now you guys are getting enough resources from your school, from help from your teachers, and what do you wish that you would get that you're not already getting? All right, anybody first? Joe, you seem like you had like something to say.
The limits for when we're researching, like our Black History Month project we're doing right now, the limits are, I don't know the limits. I don't know how far they go, so I get confused where I get in trouble and where I don't get in trouble researching.
Okay, so using your computer is what you're confused about, what you're allowed to do during school hours?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that. Anybody else? How are they feeling about go ahead, Manrique.
So I think that the teachers are doing the best job that they can, supplying us once a Friday, we go to school and we pick up our packets and art supplies and whatever we need to do work. But the thing that just hardest is trying to do something, but you need to be with the teacher to do it. Like art, it's kind of confusing since you're not with the teacher, so she can actually show you how to do it, how not to do it, and you just have to see a screen. I think that's the hard part, that you can't actually see them doing the process, and that's a bit harder doing it virtually.
Okay. All right. Ted, how about you? How do you feel? Are you getting the right resources from school?
Well, my school just provided Chromebooks, which I'm assuming is what a lot of schools did, but I have my own like desktop with 2 monitors, and so I can have like the Google Meet on one monitor and my homework on the other. But I couldn't imagine just doing it on like the small little Chromebook screen with the dual tabs or whatever. I feel like that would be very difficult. So, and even still doing it with my desktop, I'm kind of like joining the Google Meets is getting kind of like tiresome every day. It's like,
Oh, I think Ted is.
you don't have anybody you can talk boring, I guess.
Okay. How about you, Blake?
Am I back?
How do you feel? Oh, sorry. Were you more to say? Did you have more? Blake, you're lucky your mom is a teacher. So do you think you are getting the right resources now? I want to say right now in each one of these children have a different type of school, and I'm not going to say what one has what, but one person is virtual at a virtual school. Another one is virtual learning from a private school. Another one is from an alternative type school. And the other one is in like a dual language school. And they're all from the Metro Milwaukee area, but they have different type of learning that they have. Oh, I have just been informed that Manrique's mom is a teacher also. So he does get the resources from his mom and help from his mom, but he still feels that getting schooled outside of school is a lot harder. And I will have to agree with you on that. I am not a teacher, but I am teaching my children from school. And I never wanted to be a teacher because of this. I have one question from you guys, and it's from JoJo's dad. Are the kids affected with anxiety, or are they feeling stressed? Do you guys feel more stressed doing school online than you would if you were in school meeting with your teachers? Okay, Joe, go ahead.
Sorry, something was happening with my computer.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I feel sometimes stressed out and get more anxiety because I can barely hold on to what I can actually see and what I cannot see.
Okay. How does somebody, and Manrique, go ahead. Go ahead, kiddo.
So I feel less anxious of being virtual than going to school, since my school is a private school and you have to put on the uniform, remember everything, put your homework in, get breakfast. Virtual, you just have to make breakfast, put on some clothes, nothing nice, just anything, just come to class. Feels a lot easier and more relaxing than having to drive, being late, doing this and that. Just feels easier.
And you don't have to wear pants, right? Because I mean, like, that's not required in my house. I have a bunch of boys, and like my biggest saying since even Alex, my oldest, who's 25, where are your pants? Don't you have pants? I know you have pants. You know why? Because I folded them and put them in your drawer. Put them on. I totally could see that point too. Hey, Susita, how do you feel? Are you more anxious?
I feel like at first I was a bit less anxious because I just got done with my ACT and I didn't have to go to school. So it was like I don't really have much to do. It was kind of just figuring out what to do since we're all stuck inside. But now, like since like September, the new school year, everyone went virtual. I feel like that caused a lot more anxiety and stress because they were just throwing work at us like back and forth for a little bit because they didn't know what they were doing either, which is fine, but it was a bit of a rough road. But I think
Okay.
the teachers are getting used to like the work and how much is a lot because I know some of them would assign like a project and then right after that project another one with like homework in between. So I think they kind of like cooled down a little bit so it's not as stressful coming into second semester.
Okay. That's really, I'm glad that, I mean, I'm glad the teachers are realizing that things have to, like you aren't able to do as much at home because you're kind of teaching yourself in a lot of instances. And I mean, I think for the teachers too, that it's harder on them too because they're not able to see your guys' facial expressions. I don't know, do you have to keep the camera on you all day during class? No, no, no. Okay, so 2 people are yes, 3 are no. Now, I have another question from another listener, and he would like to know if anyone feel like social skills are being lost online. You do. Okay. And he also said kids should not be depressed and anxious. Go ahead, Jojo. Go ahead, Blake. Or who wants to go first? Okay, Joe, go ahead. Oh, Blake, go ahead. Go ahead, Blake.
Um, so I feel like the social skills are being lost because we can't like talk to each other or play on the playground or talk during lunch anymore. And that was usually what I looked forward to during the day because, schoolwork isn't that fun usually. And you don't get to like really talk to your friends besides through Zoom meetings very rarely.
Okay. I do know that you and Joe have not been able to have a sleepover or things that you normally do because of this. And Joe, what did you have to say?
I'm not able to see my friends at all, which we normally play kickball or football with each other or talk about stuff or help each other out. And I've seen how it was like at church, so I imagined it in my head how it was like at lunch. Everyone just barely able to hear each other.
Okay. All right. Manrique, what do you have to say about that?
I also agree that social skills are being lost since recess and lunch are times for like other students talk about their day, talk about topics and stuff, playing sports during recess. And I go to a Christian private school, and Mass is a really nice time where we get to connect with God. Also, we get to chat a bit. But all of that's lost with virtual since it's just class ends, you leave. Sometimes you'll be in a breakout room with a friend and you can chat while you do work. But there's barely ever time to be with a friend. You have to make meetings or like do something, not during school, and also stay safe. And yeah, it's really like bad for social skills.
Okay. How about you, Ted? How do you feel? Do you feel that social skills are being lost? I think he's frozen. Yes, he is. Okay. Tom, how do you feel about the social skills? Do you feel they're being lost online for online learning?
I think definitely social interactions being lost. I wouldn't say that when I go back, everyone's going to be like socially awkward, though, I guess.
Okay.
At least for me. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I still like pretty much the only interaction I've had with my friends is on the headset playing PS4 or something like that. Not really. And it's like that's been an entire year, so it definitely gets like pretty like lonely, I guess, online. And I've noticed like in my classes, there used to be like everyone would show up and have like some kids would have their cameras on, most wouldn't. But now that we're in the third term, it's like nobody shows up. There's like 3 kids that show up to my chemistry class every day. But you also
Really?
yeah, and you also get for each class that you miss, you get knocked like in your record or whatever. It shows that you were absent for each class. So it's like I have like a bunch of absences, and I can't even imagine how many absences other kids' records show because like I show up to most of my classes.
Okay, so this I want to go to Jesusita. How are you feeling about prom and graduation? Because this is your year, you're a senior.
Right now, we don't know if we're even doing a prom. They want to, but I don't know. I feel like I've looked forward to a prom because I wanted to see like everyone from my school in one spot with all their like honeys and their significant others. So now that I don't even, like Ted said, you don't even see people in class that much anymore.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
and then
Ted,
graduate,
you
I have no
this
idea.
is more for you and Ted. With like situations of interaction with girlfriends and boyfriends, and I mean, my day, it was passing notes. That's when the only time you used a phone was to talk on it. There was no texting yet. I know I'm dating myself, but we would pass notes. How are you guys with dealing with, falling in love and, courting people, each other and going on dates and things like that? Because I can't imagine not being able to like talk to I was boy crazy, but like I just couldn't imagine it not being able to like flirt with a boy or, things like that.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty hard. I switched schools between, so I really don't like know anybody at my school that I go to, the online school, besides just like seeing their names. And so it's kind of like I don't even know what anybody looks like or
Okay.
like acts like at the school. So it's kind of like, and I can't, if you like DM somebody on Instagram or something like that and you don't know them, that's kind of weird, I guess. So pretty much
Yeah.
like impossible during quarantine. So yeah.
How about you, Chica? You're my girl on the thing. How do you deal with like are boys like are DMing you? That's like the thing, I guess.
I mean, it was a lot at first, and then I was just like, I don't want to deal with this. So, I actually had gotten a boyfriend in the middle of the pandemic, and we're still together, so I guess it kind of helped.
Okay. All right. Hey. I mean, more power to ya. I'm telling ya. Like, I remember, passing notes, writing love notes. That's what we did. Now I'm sure you guys just text love texts, or I don't know what you call them, but
I mean, I still go out sometimes. I don't go like out in public though. I more go to, since my parents are divorced, I have two houses, so I kind of just spend 2 weeks at one house and then I go to the next one for 2 weeks. And then I'll
Okay.
see my boyfriend in between. But
Kate says, "Way to go, girlfriend." And Kate says, "Preach, Ted. Preach." So do you guys, and this is for everyone again, who, I'm not pulling that one up. Did you see the comment in there? Okay, yeah. Do you keep in touch with your friends? I know the older two, you probably have more interaction, but I don't know because it's electronics now. So I know JoJo is in the basement on his Xbox talking to his friend and his Switch. How much interaction do you guys have? Oh, Tom has a comment for you, Ted. I want you to read this one. But Ted is a stud. He should be dating all the time. Go ahead, Manrique.
So, for me, I don't have many friends. Once a month or every 2 months, we'll do a FaceTime call and we'll see what we've been doing and we'll chat about some topics and stuff. But sometimes, mostly with relatives, they come over to my house or I go to their house and we do who knows what.
Well, one thing I do want to tell you with Manrique, maybe you and JoJo later can exchange switches, logins, or whatnot. He actually you've been known each other since you guys have been babies. I have a picture of you both as babies right next to each other. So you guys need to exchange numbers because Joe, I know, is talking to his friends quite often on his video gaming devices, as Blake over there is giggling because those two are constant. Now, Ted, because you switched schools in the middle of the pandemic, right? Or right before it?
I switched schools at the end of the school year last year, so
Okay.
the beginning, middle of it.
Are you keeping in touch with your friends that you were prior to this through electronics?
Kinda. My friends from my old school were like not like the best influence, I guess. So I'm kind of like trying to distance myself from them.
Okay.
But I know like some kids from my newer school, like 3, and we text. So, but that's pretty much it. I just text them. We haven't like hung out in real life. During the summer, I hung out with some kids, but yeah, it definitely isn't as much as it used to be.
Okay. Oh, there we go. I'm coming back. Now, I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel about the vaccine? I know that you guys, the kids aren't going, if you're under 18, you won't be getting it for a while. But how do you feel about getting it once you can?
I'm definitely gonna get it
Okay.
as soon as possible. I just I know my dad's girlfriend, she got it already 'cause she's like a dentist assistant or like,
Mm-hmm.
and my aunt got it too. She's a teacher, I'm pretty sure right now. But it's like, I want to be able to go see my grandma and stuff. So, and she's got like asthma, so I don't really want to go around her as much during the pandemic. So,
Okay.
just as soon as I'm able to get it, I'd like to get it before school, but that's probably unlikely. We go back on the 15th. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you chose to go to attend school. Okay. How do you feel, Blake, about it? Because you look like you were ready to jump out.
I want to get it as soon as possible because I miss my normal life and I want to be able to see my friends and see other relatives without masks as soon as possible because that's just uncomfortable for both of us because it's both awkward and it's uncomfortable usually.
Okay. I do want to clarify that Manrique does have friends. He just doesn't have a lot that he talks to often because of the pandemic. That's what he meant to say. It came out wrong. Okay. How about you? Because you can get it, right, Chica? You can get it
Yeah.
now. Are you planning on getting it when it's your turn, or are you still weary about it?
I already got offered it because I work at a like assisted living facility slash like
Okay.
rehab for people who need it. And I didn't get it because I'm still like nervous about like side effects or things that could happen. Because I don't even get the flu shot and I don't really get the flu. Like I don't remember a time I've gotten the flu. So I'm kind of still nervous to get the vaccine.
Okay. And that's fair. That's fair. Completely fair. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
So I want to get the vaccine, but me and my mother and my father have decided that we will not get the vaccine. Like we'll probably be like maybe in the right before the end, but not in the middle, just to see if the vaccine's okay and waiting for vaccine that's actually approved for kids.
Okay. And Jojo, how do you feel about the vaccine?
I want to get it as soon as possible just to protect my brother.
Okay. That's fair. If any of the listeners don't know, I do have a child with an autoimmune disorder, and that's one of the reasons why this is scary for our house because we've been told by a lot of medical professionals that if he were to contract the virus, he would not survive the virus. I don't know. I don't want to take that chance. Simple as that. So that's where Jojo is coming from background wise. He is worried about his brother because he doesn't want to lose him before his time. So you guys plan on going back to school. Now here's a good question for you. And I'm going to have you guys each one by one answer this. 40 years from now, when you guys all have kids or grandkids, how are you going to describe this situation of your life, this portion of your life, to them? Okay, go ahead, Manrique.
I'd just say it was miserable and horrible. But no, I'd say that it was a hard time, but there were some bright moments in this horrible time. I cannot think of any right now, but I bet there are. And I'll just tell them that it was a hard time and that we all worked as hard as we could to get through this horrible pandemic.
Okay. Who wants to go next? Go ahead, Blake.
I would say that overall it was pretty bad, but I feel like it didn't affect me as much as it affected a lot of other people. And I do think some good things came from this, like there's less pollution because not as many people were leaving the house and there's not like fossil fuels being burnt. And I would probably mention like like how much of a blur 2020 was because of the virus, because all of the days just felt the same to me.
Well, we'll do a triangle. Ted, how would you describe it?
I'd probably like, my kid came up to me, he was like, "Dad, what's the pandemic like? 2020." I just feel like, oh, we don't speak of that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Who wants to go next? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jesuita.
I would probably explain how I felt like during like the first part, and then I'll probably tell them about the toilet paper shortage.
Okay.
And all the crazy things that happened. The first year I got to vote, my 18th birthday, I got a job. So a lot of things happened.
All right, Jojo, how about you?
Same thing as Ted.
All right, and then Rosalinda Arredondo said writing a journal would help them remember. So, and Tom also said, Luke Volkamore, we don't say that name. I want to thank you guys very much for being part of this. It really helps us know how to help you guys through this, to hear you guys talk about it. And I know it's not cool to like talk to adults, but I really, really suggest that you do talk to them about how you feel of what you're going on, because we understand, we're going through it too. We're here, and I was a very, very sociable person. And being stuck in the house all the time with the kids, I mean, like, great. I love my boys, don't get me wrong. I mean, but I really can only hear about so much Roblox and Fortnite. Really, I only so much. So being able to talk to you guys helps me, because I mean, even though one of my sons is part of this conversation, I need outside kids too to tell me how they feel. So on that ado, I'm going to let you guys go because it's late. And I know a couple of you, if not 3 of you, should have been in bed now, and I've kept you up. So tell your mom and dads thank you. And I might be calling you back for another interview. All right. Have a great night, guys. Okay, I am really wanting just a quick say that talking to these kids and hearing what they have to say makes all the difference in how to deal with kids during this time. And I know as a mom, I get really, really lonely, and I need my other moms out there. And on that note, I am going to call my friend Carolyn up here. She is part of a group. Hi, Carolyn.
Hi.
She is part of a group called Rockin' Mamas that I have been part of, and I was trying to figure out how many years. It's actually been 11 years I've been part of this group. And I want to talk to you about what we do as a group to help us stay sane during this time.
Well, Rockin' Mamas is going through some hard times right now because of pandemic, and everybody's different politics about it. I don't know why it's political, but whatever. Everybody has their own level of comfort and own level of safety. And Rocket Mamas is a mom group, and primarily we're a Facebook-based group where we can talk and chat. We can complain about our kids, our husbands, or ask for advice, which is great. But the better part of our group, in my opinion, is that we commune with each other. We meet. So we have events, family oriented, and also moms, because we need that. We need to not be mom all the time. And so with the pandemic, it's been really hard to schedule events and be safe. We're trying this year to do some new things. We've lowered our fee. We do have a joining fee that we use to pay for our events. So we do like an Easter egg hunt and a picnic and Christmas party, things like that.
Wait. Let's let the most important part get together. The mom weekend. I look forward to that every year. You know why? Because I don't have to worry about whose butt is wiped, whose food, needs food. And I can sleep in past 6 a.m.
Yep, the mom's weekend is a lot of fun. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go last year because everything was closed. All the hotels were closed. So we had to refund everybody's money. And this year, I don't know if we'll do one this year.
I love the summer picnic.
Me too. I don't know if we'll get to do a trip this year as much. Maybe in the fall. We'll see how it goes with everyone being vaccinated, and maybe people's comfort level will be better. I cook in the Dells. It's fun to cook in the Dells. I like to cook.
We cook breakfast. We cook breakfast.
Cook breakfast.
Joe just said that I'm bringing the kids with me this year. No, kids are not allowed. That's the point.
No kids allowed in the Dells.
Pull away with my vehicle and wave to my children.
So it's been hard for us to get together and have a lot of attendance, which in general with busy mom lives is hard anyways, to schedule, and everybody's schedule is different. Everybody has different commitments, and a lot of people have a hard time being comfortable meeting new people.
I heard it was a little liquid. Yes.
Well, I eat while I drink, so no. But we have a lot of people that have a hard time being comfortable. But once they get to know us, they're usually a pretty good group. We're pretty fun, easygoing, laid back group of women.
Here's the thing too. I went pregnant 1 year. Actually, I think I went pregnant 2 years. And I fell asleep on the lazy river by myself. I was just going down the river, I was completely fine.
It fall off.
Yeah. But it was a relaxing thing. And I really want more moms to know that there are groups out there that meet, and that even if we can't meet physically right now, we can meet virtually. And we have.
We've been working on that. We're trying to do a couple of virtual things. We're doing Mom's Night. I'm sorry, I'm looking all over. Mom's Night Out is kind of like a Mom's Night In. Although there are a couple of people who are interested in going out, and they've been pretty good about planning those things, and I'm happy with that, because we want to meet everyone's needs. Everyone has different comfort levels, so we want people to want to be a part of the group, and we want to try to meet their needs as best as we can. Unfortunately, we just can't force everyone to be comfortable at a restaurant or a movie.
Right. Well, here's the
thing. I'm not comfortable at a restaurant.
Well, here's the thing. If you're not comfortable to it, don't go.
Right.
So the ones that are comfortable can go. The ones that aren't, don't go.
I think I'm more comfortable in the group because I trust a lot of us. I know we are good moms, and we try to do the best we can to keep each other safe and our family safe. So I would be comfortable with us Like if we went to a movie and it was us, but I'm not really comfortable like eating somewhere because it's just not safe in general, germ wise, and
Right.
everybody's not wearing a mask, and I mean, you can't. You need to eat, so I'm not comfortable with that. But everybody's comfort level is different, and that's okay. So we're trying to do the best we can with that. We're doing some online events with the kids, like we're doing a Lego building competition, invention, and other people really, really like the mom groups for the mom aspect. And that is why I joined initially. And I've made some really great friends, lifelong friends. Our kids play together, and it's a good thing. But I also really like, even though my kids are getting a little bit older, I really like planning the kid events. I'll be that crazy lady yelling at the picnic. That's me.
We find you every time because we're like, oh wait, no, I hear Carolyn. I hear her. She's that way.
I like to plan the games. I like to plan the picnic. I love that. That's totally my jam. I love doing that kind of stuff. So I'm happy to be doing that. And last year when those things were canceled because of COVID, I was so sad. I had already bought a lot of the stuff and had some games. I had my Pinterest board set up. I was sad. I really look forward to those things and was hoping that it would be manageable. But obviously we want to do what's in everyone's best interest. And we canceled those events, but we're hoping to do more things this year than we could in the future. So
I think it says, do we do anything for the days? I think we tried at one point in time and just not enough interest was happening.
Yeah. Well, there's not enough interest in general, like in meeting. Not that there's not interest in meeting, it's just everyone has their own life and their own commitments. But then when they did meet, it was just a couple people, and so like my husband's always game, but it just depends on the people, the day, the time, where we're going to eat or whatever.
And how would somebody join? Like, I know that I am going to be sponsoring this week my neighbor who is expecting, and I have sponsored Kate, and I will continue to sponsor people that find interest because I feel like people don't necessarily want to pay. And then, so I know how much beneficial it is. So I will pay for the first year so they can see how great it is. And then they never leave. So,
sorry. In order to join Rocket Mamas, the easiest way, in my opinion, is to be invited or to go to our webpage, which is rocketmamas.com. Don't quote me because it might be changed. I was not prepared. But if someone invites you to the group, I can send you more information. That's literally me that sends saying, hi, my name is Carolyn. This is our group. This is what we have to offer. And then we collect information if you so choose to share it with us, mostly just so we can send you a card if your grandma dies or something. And if we do go on a trip, I like having everybody's like phone number and address in case something happened and that kind of thing. We don't sell like anybody's information. I don't really care where you live.
You deserve it for the planning and stuff that you do.
I don't, we don't get paid. Leadership doesn't get paid. We pay the same fee as everyone else to be in the group, which this year is super, super cheap. We lowered it because we can't commit to as many events as we could in the past because of COVID, and because so many people joined last year. And then really, I felt really bad because they weren't getting what they paid for, in the sense that we didn't have the events. So we still had a fair amount of money in our budget. So for returning members, we made the fee $5. It's normally $25. And then for new members, it's $15, and it's normally $25. So
and that money goes to events, and it goes to running the website, and it goes to things that are costing. Like, people don't realize even doing my podcast costs me money right now. So I'm looking for sponsors, but I have to show that I'm making progress. And until then, it's going to cost me money. And I'm doing it because I don't feel that certain topics are getting looked at a mom view.
Yeah. I feel like everyone that joins feels there's benefit in joining. There are people who have joined and then not rejoined, and they're usually very inactive members, and that's okay too. You don't have to be super active. The hardest thing that we're facing in Rocky Mamas right now, beyond pandemic problems, is a lot of us are getting older and our kids are getting older, and it's hard to manage life because they have 20,000 activities that we need to drive them to. And we're working more. A lot of us, when we initially started, were stay-at-home moms or part-time stay-at-home moms. And now we're not all, there's still stay-at-home moms. But a lot of us are working more, and our time is different, and our kids are all friends, like that kind of thing. And we really need new blood. And I think it would be great to have new moms in the group because we can learn from them and they can learn from us. Do I have any ideas for Missy's podcast that should be addressed? I don't know.
She can tell me privately, Joe.
I mean, there's lots of things you could have podcasts about. So I'm a big fan of true crime podcasts. Not social issue podcasts. Those are the ones I listen to. I look like I rolled in dog hair today. I was cleaning. With my Rocky Mamas sweatshirt, it's another thing. We have a new logo, like not a logo, but a new t-shirt design every year. If I would have been prepared, I would have linked it, but I'm not. So, so I really like Rocky Mamas. I really like being a part of the group. I really like the mom aspect of it. I love when we get together and can talk and have just really great things. And it's nice to be able to say, hey, can someone come get me? My car died. Or, hey, can you pick up my kid? And know that that person is really my friend, not just a part of a mom group. Like, I've made really good friends, and that's really awesome. Right.
I want to say
I'm not in it personally for the chatting. I'm in it for the personal relationship aspect.
Right. I want to say, like, one thing when Joe fell and we weren't getting any income. We went from, a weekly income to nothing. And then you personally started a meal train for us, which helped me immensely because I didn't know up from down. And he couldn't walk 3 steps without almost falling over. And that's the kind of relationships that this group does build.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people do that kind of thing. But we want to love each other, want to love on each other. We want to support our group in particular, but moms locally as much as we can. We don't really advocate for GoFundMe's and things like that. But if there's a person in our group that's hurting, we really do want to help them as much as we can. And I'm always game to cook an extra dinner. I'm cool with that. A bigger dinner. That's okay. I like doing that kind of stuff. So I'm weird.
No, I mean, when I saw there's another one going around and I saw it, I'm like, I'm filling out a day and then I'm going to work on getting more on there because I
she
feel
was
like
a former member and she just wasn't very active, so she didn't rejoin, but she's still friends with a ton of people in the group. So there's really no reason to not support a local mom that we know and trust and who really needs us right now. There's no reason for us not to do that.
Yes. Well, I'm going to let you go because I know that you want to go home and go to bed because you have to get your kids up in the morning. And your children are in person learning. So you have to get them and get ready. And I love your posts in the morning too with the kids. They're hilarious because there's something that I would say or do or happen with.
But like,
with the boys.
oh my God, get the hell up and go to school.
Like there's one that's completely dressed head to toe in like winter gear, and then there's another one that doesn't have a shirt on.
Every day. He's 11.
Yes.
Every day.
That's-
He's very difficult in the morning.
That's my oh, I have one of those too. So thank you for coming on. And if they want to join Rockin' Mamas, please just send me a message in here, and I will forward you to Carolyn. Or
You
to
can
the
do
group.
that. I can also look up the link, and if you have some way to link it to your page, I can give you that information. I just don't have it in front of me.
And we can put it in the description also. So thank you for coming on. I appreciate this, and I really want people to know about this group because I know how much it has helped me personally as a mom go through a lot of rough times, and that's what we need more of.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Have
Well,
a great night.
Say good night. Bye.
So I'm going to wrap up tonight, and I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank everyone for the comments and the information from the kids and from a group, a mom's group that I am very dear to my heart. It was on tonight. It was great. I want to say stay safe, be careful, and if you need help, please reach out. Have a great night. Bye.